My name is Noah, and I'm in the fight of my life against a rare stage 3 appendix cancer that I had diagnosed back in December after a month of excruciating stomach pain. My first week of treatment at the Nevada Center with Dr. Schallenberg and his team is done, and I feel relief. I feel really good about having gotten a third of my formal in-office treatment finished. This is something that I've been thinking about and processing for at least a month and a half, from the first conversations we had with various doctors to our first full formal consultations to labs and tests and considerations and deciding, do we want to go traditional chemo? Do we want to do alternative integrative chemotherapy, which is ultimately what I chose? Do we want to go no chemo and go just pure holistic metabolic approach, which didn't ultimately feel safe for me? It just feels good to have made a decision. It feels good to have gotten a full week of treatment done. I've got tons of at-home protocols to do, and I'd love to share them with you. I just wanted to get through this first week, and we did. And it was great and interesting, and it was a lot. If you were to ask me how I'm feeling, I'd say yes. How are you feeling? Yes. But for sure grateful and less afraid than when I started. So I think it's starting to hit me that we're leaving tomorrow. And that's good. And that's normal. And I just hope it all goes okay. Having done my second day of insulin potentiated chemotherapy today, I do have a sense of how it's going to go now, although I will say we learned a lot today. All right, good morning. It's morning time, day 3 at the Nevada clinic, day 2 of insulin potentiated chemotherapy. Day 1, they did 15 IUs of insulin.
Yeah, so maybe this is a good thing for us because we're learning about you. So maybe we will hit you with 20 units next time.
Yeah. With the idea being to bring me down maybe somewhere in like the 30s or 40s. Maybe I heard 35. Or get me as low as possible, and then hit me with the chemo agents that were best suited for my cancer. And then let me stir for 10 minutes, and then get food in me and get sugar in me, and then sit tight and go from there. So we're going to see how I respond. You guys will get to watch how I handle the 20 IUs of insulin. We'll just see how it goes. When I did my Tuesday IPT, I had fasted for 36 hours. When I did today's IPT, I had fasted for 12. And boy, was it noticeably different trying to get my blood sugar down. So as we continue to discuss, I have stage 3 appendiceal cancer. That's why we had to find a treatment. It was suggested by my naturopath, my MD, and my oncologist, who's a naturopathic style oncologist. You could say an integrative oncologist. Everyone seemed to think I need to do some kind of treatment that involved chemo, which is how we landed on insulin potentiated chemotherapy. Here's the chemo port, by the way. Nothing too fancy. It is nice though to have my arms free. I do appreciate that. But one of the things they want you to do is they want you to bring your blood sugar down. And they do that with insulin. And that creates a starving effect for your cells and your cancer cells. But it was just tougher today to get my blood sugar way down because I ate 12 hours before, which was perfectly fine. It's not like that was against the protocol, but it just made me much less sensitive. My blood sugar came in 10 points higher than before, and it just took them forever to get my blood sugar down. And they're watching you carefully. And because I'm learning IV vitamin C, ozonated is what they give me prior, very toxic for everything we're doing is just to create toxicity in my body for cancer, and then the chemotherapy agents to create extreme toxicity. But it all makes the readings hard to gauge, so they base the readings like blood levels for sugar. They base everything on your symptoms, so they're just watching you for side effects of your insulin. They obviously don't want you to have a seizure or passed out, but they want you to be pretty googly. They want you to be pretty messed up, so to speak. So we're like an hour and a half in, I think. Just struggling to get my blood sugar low enough. You know, maybe not speaking as fast, certainly getting into a lot of sweating, which I did.
I used to be really good
I'm
at
safe
poker.
one way or another, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
when I was young, we
You're
played a lot
always
of
safe.
strip poker. I
You
had to
believe in God?
Gotta be good.
had to be
Yes,
good.
ma'am. I mean, you guys can
spend all
bring,
That's what's most important.
I mean, you guys can bring me back out of this real fast if I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
But
I learned that it's
I want
okay
this to
to show
work for
your.
you, so
It's okay
keep dropping.
You show your
to
emotions.
show your emotion. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just want signs that you're hypoglycemic, and once they think you're there, and they're ready, they're at their ready to give you sugar if they need to.
What is he injecting with it?
So bad.
Wake up.
Your
Wake
shoulder?
up.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
the
no
shoulder.
more.
Yes, one shot.
Riveting conversation. Okay, so the first tattoo that they did the other day.
Once they think you're there, they give you your chemo, and they base my chemo agents off my RGCC. RGCC is a blood test that I had access to, and it allowed me to identify the most toxic chemotherapy agents possible for me to be done for this type of chemotherapy that I'm receiving. But then they put that in you, they let that swirl around for 10 minutes.
Diane, I want you not to talk to him for a second. I want to see if he falls asleep.
He did. That's why I woke him up and said, "Come on, you can't do that."
I didn't fall
Do
asleep.
it again. Hold that there.
Trudy Rubenstein or Trudy Rubenstein.
So now they're giving me the chemotherapy.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
I'll bring her chart here, but here it is.
okay.
And then you're gonna dribble pretty slow.
Yeah.
10 of what?
Can I help you?
D50.
D50 is sugar?
There's a hook in the bathroom.
I let the chemo move through my body for 10 minutes without any
We squeeze by, thank you.
Yeah.
sugar, and now they just added some sugar and
Cap's off. You get a little woozy yet?
He's coming back.
Oh,
He
you're
got
bringing
his
it back?
chemo, and she just got D50.
Oh, okay. So you're nice and sleepy? Okay.
I'm gonna take sugar first.
You want to take some sugar first?
He's having some sugar right now,
Oh.
and then he feels like he needs to go to the bathroom. So
Okay. maybe
after he's
that's-
had a little bit, then maybe you could help him because
Yeah,
he's
sure.
like dozing off.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'll be an easy bathroom trip. Maybe.
Sure will.
Let me get this.
Okay.
Not this guy
We'll give you a little more sugar.
right now.
Okay. I'm just eating now. That's all that's happening now. They're just having me eat. And they give you the dextrose. They give you the sugar, and then they have you start eating, and then boom, your cells open up, good and bad. But your bad cells, your cancer cells open up, and they take in all that chemotherapy. It activates them at a greater level than what can be done with traditional chemo. It's what we're learning, and it's why we decided to do this. So that's what today was, and it was harder for sure. It was definitely tougher to hang in there because I seemed to have tolerated a lot more insulin than they're used to. Just resting now. They've got antibiotics pushed into the IV bags. I'm drinking electrolytes, B vitamins, ate a little bit of food. Pretty tired, but it went well enough. It went well given that it was hard to get my insulin down or my blood sugar down, but I think we did enough to make that chemo extra effective. So they called it. They're breaking down their protocols, working with Dr. Schallenberger. I'm going to go back to fasting for 36 hours prior to my chemo days. Come in with my blood sugar lower because I'm going as keto as I can right now in between, except for chemotherapy day and insulin day, because we want to make sure, since insulin's half-life is relatively long, we keep feeding me throughout the day, make sure I don't crash. But anyway, I'll go back to fasting. I think they said they're going to try 25 to 30 units instead of 10 to 15 and then 5 at a time like they did today. see if we can get me wonky a little quicker, because trying to sweat it out and hang in there was a surreal experience, an interesting experience. But I was telling the nurse, like, I want to be as miserable and as hypoglycemic as possible so that my chemotherapy agents, the ones we chose, can be as effective as possible. And so I don't know. One of the things that we're trying to figure out, and I'm trying to figure out, is how much is my pain threshold being pretty good? How much is my youth, relatively speaking, my fitness, relatively speaking, my keto adaptation? How much is that playing into what they're not used to seeing? They did let me know that they're not used to seeing youngish men like me in there. They're not used to working with more fit, healthy guys that happen to have cancer like me. So it's just something that we're learning on the fly. But the staff there at the Nevada Center, incredible. They're doing incredible things. I'm grateful to be able to try some of these alternative methods of treatment. I'm thankful to everyone who has supported me here in thought, in prayer, in comment, in finance, all of it. Thank you. I know that puts me in a very unique position compared to most, and I don't take it lightly. And I pray on ways to give it all back and pay it all forward more than you could possibly know. More than you could possibly know. So right now I'm just gonna take a deep breath. It was a good day. I'm very I'm starting to get used to how like using the port works, the flow with the staff. I'll think of new things to share and new insights to bring to you guys about what I'm doing and how it's going with what my life is like right now. But I think that was more than enough for today and for these first few days. So in the comment sections below, just let me know how you are, what you're thinking. If you're a cancer patient, how are you holding up? What are you up to? What treatments are you pursuing? I continue to use my repurposed meds, which are ivermectin and fenbendazole, melatonin, CBD oil, and some other supplements. I appreciate you guys. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for your time. I'm going to rest now. There's so much more I could talk about, but I think that's a good place for now to go ahead and say goodnight.
The back of my head, been on a long time.
Head will go smooth. I'm gonna poke you.
Can't do that.
I didn't fall
Do
asleep.
it again. Hold that there.
Trudy Rubenstein or Trudy Rubenstein.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Are you dizzy at all?
Tired.
Yeah. Your eyes are kind of doing that, like before you fall asleep kind of action. Let's just try to stay awake if you can. Got 7 more minutes.